Baldur's Gate 3 is here and it's going to blow up. I'm pretty sure of it. And I think a lot of people are going to have difficulties getting into a game like this, especially people who do not have that much experience with the genre, or people like me who I haven't played a CRPG in about 2 years and I had to readjust to some of the difficulties, some of the friction that you can encounter in games like these. I just wanted to make this video as a warning, giving people some tips, because the last thing I want is for somebody to miss out on an incredible role-playing experience like this game is because of some of those problems. And those problems exist, much like they have in other games, and they could be a turnoff. I know that for a lot of people, they will be a turnoff. So hopefully this video helps you out with that. The first thing to keep in mind is that if you do not like wasting your time, as in literally wasting your time, you have to make sure that you plan ahead and that you are saving constantly. We'll get into roles and save scumming later, but that is not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about you forgetting to save, you're going through certain events in the game, you're, exploring, getting into different quests, you finish an important battle, and you just walk out a door. And you didn't expect it, and suddenly there are 40 enemies attacking you. You're like, oh man, I should have rested. I should have taken a long rest, should have reset everything before going into this, because I don't think I can survive. You will not be able to survive, don't worry. And you're like, well, I'll just load. And your load is before the previous battle started. That sucks. I have quit games for less. Maybe that previous battle was like 25 hard-fought minutes. Maybe the slow pace at which turns go by and enemies take their action doesn't really bother you too much until you have to repeat a 30-minute fight and watch all of those slow animations again and see how things roll this time. I've quit games for less egregious attacks against my time, if you will. Now, you could say that's a flaw of the game. I don't think it's a flaw of the game. It's the way that these games have worked forever. You have complete freedom to make that decision and challenge yourself against that horde of enemies if you wanted to, but the important thing is you need to be very aware of things and save. If you do not save, you're going to encounter situations where you will have to go reload, and you will lose a lot of your progress and you will waste a lot of your time. This is not about save scumming, because in these situations you will die, and if your entire party dies, you have to reload. There's no other option. So don't tell me that I'm save scumming. No, this is just you need to save frequently so you have good points of return in case shit hits the fan. If you are not prepared for that, and if you are not very actively saving, you are going to get frustrated by these things. I'm pretty sure. I think it takes a person with infinite time and infinite patience to not get frustrated by something like this. This can also apply to story events. If you are not the type of person that can roll with the punches, and if things go sideways, you get pissed off, and you know what the outcome is. You're role-playing in your head that you shouldn't fail a check like this, even if you get screwed over with a critical failure or whatever. If you just want to avoid those situations, you better be saving, because you never know when the next conversation you have or when the next place you enter triggers a conversation that is going to be critical to the story. On the story side of things, I think it's better to roll with the punches. I'm a really sensitive guy now. I wasn't before in my life, but now I am. I'm the type of person that cries with like the dumbest rom-com or something. So for me, the story in Baldur's Gate has been quite affecting on multiple layers. I've been very excited and very pumped up and enjoyed a lot of the things that happen, and I've also been deeply disturbed at things that happen that were in my control and I did not control them correctly, and then the outcome was stuff. And I have learned to roll with the punches. I think it's fun, but I understand perfectly how somebody could see some of the outcomes of some of the options in the game and go like, that is horrible. I don't want that. Please get that out of here. Let me reload. And if to reload that, you didn't save, and now you have to go back maybe to the previous battle, or, through a bunch of other checks that now you need to also pass before you get to the check that you didn't pass. It'll be frustrating, and you can get into a frustration loop where you do it all again and you forget to save again. I've been there. I think we've all been there. This game has that in it. Okay? Just the same, there will be battles that go your way because the rolls go in your favor, and there will be battles where they don't. I personally think that as you go up in level, that luck element is very highly mitigated, and the combat system is overall excellent. But I know that some people will be frustrated by that. I do not want any of you to miss out on what could be a fantastic experience. So please go in with this idea that things can go sideways very easily at multiple different moments, and if you are not thinking ahead, planning ahead, and saving at good moments where you could change your decision or decide to go prepare or decide to go do something else that's less difficult, or level up or get better gear, if you do not have good save points for that, you might find yourself in a situation that is frustrating and could lead to you dropping the game. And do not do that. Prepare in advance so that you can experience everything this game has. I have a full-time job. I'm a busy human. I do not have infinite time. I do not want to spend 45 minutes redoing something just because I was dumb. It's a horrible feeling that can turn you against a game that you would otherwise love. So keep that in mind when you're jumping into this game. I think it'll do you a lot of good if you're anything like me. This was a spur of the moment thing. I got inspired to make this video and I thought it was very important, so it's kind of less scripted and all that, but big plans for launch and a lot of content coming up for BG3 and other games. So very excited. If you're not a subscriber, there's never been a better moment than now. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mug Thief, and I'll see you on the internet.